Here I am down in Pasadena at HIM, and I'm with a good friend, Mark Miller, and he's been my writing coach, and I've just really enjoyed talking to Mark. And so I'm excited about many of you who maybe have a passion to write, and some of you interesting people who are actually really good at English, which is not like me, and you may have a passion to help other people write. And so as I've talked to Mark, who I'm going to let him talk for a while about what his dreams and stuff, but he's a writer of his own books, but he helps a number of Christian leaders. Mark, what's your passion for writing, and what are you looking for? Because I think that you're actually excited to help other people.
Well, thanks so much for having me on, Larry. It's really fun just to join the show and to really join in on the meaningful conversations that you've been having, in these past couple months. And I think just kind of kicking it off from where you and I first connected on your recent book, I think just sharing the power of stories and really finding what your voice is and releasing your story out there is something that can resonate with virtually anybody who has walked on planet Earth, because we all have passions, we all have dreams, we all have aspirations. We also have our areas of expertise, or even just the trials that we've gone through, challenging situations that can resonate with other people's shared experience. But I think creating a book out of your experience and out of what you're passionate about is something that more people are called to do than what they might realize. Right. And it's my skill set, but also my joy to help people along that creative process, because some people might feel comfortable sitting down in front of a keyboard and typing out, like 40,000 words, but they might need help cleaning it up. Whereas other people might be excellent verbal communicators and they can share stories day and night, but it might be daunting to honestly try to think, how am I even going to get a book out there?
This isn't Mark's opinion. This is my opinion. When you use a publisher, you're not going to get, if you hit it out of the park, you're not going to get the returns. And if you're an ordinary person, they're not going to front you. You can actually take somebody from a variety of points and help them get to a turnkey book.
Honestly, Amazon, it can be as powerful as you know how to use it. And as long as you know what steps to take, there really aren't that many steps. It's just, as long as you get the steps right, you can really be set up to, recoup your initial investment to make a quality product. Yeah. But, as the next year or two go on, I could see you making a profit off of your books. Yeah. And like you said, when people order online, you don't have to lift a finger to fulfill the order.
It's amazing.
But yeah, it's very user friendly. I hope that my experience is also user friendly in the sense that I can just kind of, I can coach you along the way.
If you can get a complete manuscript, then he can polish it up and he can take it to wherever you want. He'd probably even tell you how to do it. But I needed more help than that, and I needed ideas. And so we just sat down and we hit ideas back and forth, and he corrects me and he inspires me and he gets me excited. And so what are you excited about? What level of different writers? Because some people know they're not writers like me, but I feel like I have a destiny to do it. And so I need a skillful person like you, and I really appreciate what you do. But what do you get excited about, and what are you willing to do? And
yeah, so the majority of my work, I would say probably 90% of it over the last, several years has been normally people already have the manuscript and then I'm polishing, helping to revise and refine it. But I would say within the past year or so, I've had more experience meeting writers kind of on the earlier end, either where they're only a few chapters in, or even like you, where you just have the idea and it's like, I kind of know where it's going, but I'm not sure really either how to start or then how to flesh it out and ultimately how to get to the finish line. And I think it's super helpful to have someone who's been through that process before, where I can weigh in early on, so you're not wasting time late, and just you could easily be taking double the amount of time to get to the end of your manuscript, and even then you might still need editing. But if we have conversations about, okay, how can we build an outline out of what your idea is, or how can we start, putting down the building blocks and the foundation to set you up for success, so that yeah, again, so you're saving time, but you're also building the skills to develop your own writing. But I think if you realize that God has given you the ability to tell stories, and you might, it might be a strength or a weakness for you initially, but really anybody can learn how to build that skill. And at the end of the day, you're going to be impacting other people's lives. Yeah. So I love to see taking someone's vision and then ultimately giving them a tangible book that they can share with other people, with friends as well as complete strangers, that other people's lives will be impacted based on what you're passionate about and sharing. All right, yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of the breakdown of the prices and services and what you could get basically out of this equation. But yeah, so for books that are roughly 100 pages or under, I think a good starting point is around 1,200. I normally think of a book as at least 120 pages, maybe to 180 as kind of the golden range. At that point, you're getting closer to $2,000, just kind of ballpark range. Some people like Larry are reaching into the 200s of there's just a lot of content involved. But yeah, I think editing begins there, and then if you're looking for the full publishing experience, that's adding another around $1,500. So I think $3,000 and to $5,000 is probably a good range to budget in. And again, different people have different needs. Some people that I've worked with in the past have right near the end added a completely new chapter right in the middle of their book, and that we took the time to really flesh it out and make it the best that they needed it to be. Whereas other people are just needing just a relatively brief editing experience. So I always like to tailor it to what people ultimately need to make it the best, the best message that they can get out there.
I just want to say I view Mark as like the best. I feel like he's able to offer a superior service, and he can work with A-list writers that everybody would know their names, and he does. And then he can work with people like me, and he can work with people like you. And I think that he could, help develop the passion, because I think God has given people a passion for writing. But also, what about the editors? This could be a little bit messy, but why don't you tell about what you think that might be like? And I'm maybe part of the reason that it encouraged you, but I think there's godly people, as odd as they may be compared to the way my brain works. I do not function well with commas and semicolons and punctuation and writing in first person, third person. So if those kind of people are interested, are you interested to talk to them and maybe be able to help?
Yeah, so even before you gave me that word, a month or two ago or whatever it was, just organically within the past, I would say 2 years, there's two friends of mine who every now and then, as kind of just traffic has gotten busier and I've had more on my plate, I've said, hey, would you mind, helping edit this book? And ultimately, I'm carrying the weight of the responsibility to make it the best it can possibly be. But I've worked with two other personal friends who also are good at writing. They have a full-time day job doing something else, but inherently they have the skill and they also have the passion to make their writing better as well as other people's writing better. But yeah, I definitely have caught that vision through conversations with you and even other people who've given me similar advice as well as just words. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to, really build the connections with the authors as well as other editors, because for me, at the end of the day, people are your greatest asset. And if I can do my job in connecting people together, just like you, I feel like you're really organically excellent at doing that. And again, I appreciate just the opportunity to share this space with you today. But yeah, I would love to connect other editors and writers and to really involve you in this process of finding people's voices, sharing their stories, getting it out there, and really kind of building something where we can have that synergy moving forward.
If you're an editor, it's not like you're going to guaranteed have a full-time income, immediately. It's not the way it is. But if you have a passion and you have a calling and you have a destiny, it's awesome to be around high-level people. And I think Mark is kind of he's not unknown because the people that we know him, but he's willing to help people like me. I think he's willing to help people like you.
So you can go to my website, bookmarkedpages.com. On the contact me page, it goes directly to my personal email. I'll respond to you usually within a day. Just the final parting word is write the book, write the story, even when it just starts with a single seed of an idea. And you might be like Larry and have all these like tens of thousands of ideas running around your head, but just take the initial step, start writing, or even just do a voice memo of yourself processing these thoughts. But as you take each step along the way, it'll be so worth creating this story, creating this book. So write it and keep writing, and you'll watch as the world's a different place as a result.